This is the presentation for MonetaPro, $3 million pre-Series A offering. And what is MonetaPro? It's a B2B fintech platform for what's called global corporate barter. That's also called counter trade, intercompany trading, global offset, swaps, flips. Goes by a lot of different names, but MonetaPro as a platform allows companies to trade goods or services inside a private closed-loop marketplace, leveraging IBM technology for asset management and audit trails. $17 trillion existing market worldwide, and some of the top industries around the world: automotive, airlines, computer, food, drink, natural resources, shipping. Companies within these industries trade assets. In the US alone, 72% of the Fortune 500 companies participate. Average transactions over $1 million. So a company like Ford would trade with hundreds of existing partners. They might trade cars for computers, shipping, tires, batteries, parts, airlines. So it's an entire ecosystem that these corporations travel and trade in. The problem is it's still manual. It's like the old days of barter. I've got chicken, you've got milk, let's negotiate. So each transaction has to be identified, mutual need. You both need the item. You have to negotiate equal value, consummate tracking and trading. The tracking of the assets is very difficult, the reporting, the auditing, and it has to be repeated for each trade. If you can't find a trade partner, you have to call around and identify another one, which sometimes begs the question, why not just sell for cash? Well, there's tremendous financial leverage if you can find a trade partner. Example here, you've got $1 million worth of cars or trucks left at the end of the year. You're a car company. You could discount them 20%, lose the value, spend cash to acquire other assets, and still pay taxes on the items you sold. Or identify a trade partner, cars for computers. You trade the asset. Now you actually book the cars at the $1 million. So it's a full retail market. You're acquiring assets without spending cash, and it's potentially tax-free under some regulations such as a 1099-B. So huge financial leverage is the reason these companies do it. But the problem, again, is evidence here. It's still manual. Too many moving parts, no transparency, prone to inaccuracy, manual processes, regulatory uncertainty, no tracking, no auditing. So big problem, big opportunity. That's what MonetaPro does. The word moneta, actually, as I said earlier, the old days of barter. I've got chickens, you've got milk. If you want chickens and I don't want milk, I needed currency, I needed portability. The first forms of money ever were the moneta seashell. That's what created portability and commerce. And that's what MonetaPro's created. Instead of the traditional one-to-one equal transaction, we created a one-to-many through the creation of what we call a GBUC, a general business usage credit. This is just an internal ledger credit, like a store credit you might get in something like Amazon. But now you can trade the asset, receive credits back, and instead of negotiating equal value, this credit now has value across tires, batteries, parts, shipping. So it's closed loop portability, and the GBUC really adds to the fluidity of the system. Each GBUC equals $1. Again, just a credit within the system, immediate financial, and then the GBUC allows us to do some tracking with auditing and reporting, really makes it unique. Two of the other big problems, wrapping up here, blockchain and IBM. If a company transfers assets, let's say a company sells or transfers cars, well, what we do with our invoicing system, think about an Amazon system, business to consumer. You might click your order history. That order history on Amazon doesn't go anywhere. Our invoice order system writes to the IBM Hyperledger, so now we can actually go in and update an inventory module. If a company transfers cars out, we can, step one, remove that inventory from a quantity standpoint to keep them in compliance. And then we can also write a lightweight DocuSign blockchain contract to prove transfer of ownership and an audit trail. So the ability to update inventory modules and provide an audit trail for compliance is a huge advantage of what MonetaPro is bringing to the market. So an enterprise solution with an online marketplace, liquidity for buyers and sellers to bring their existing market on, transparency and pricing. Now when you list a price, the other buyers can see it, so it flattens out the pricing, portability with the GBUC, and then compliance with the audit trail. Complete, encompassed, enterprise, robust solution. It's something we created called ELT equals V, efficiency, liquidity, and trust equals value. Efficiency, again, closed loop MonetaPro system. Liquidity, for the most part, we're bringing on companies that have a history of trading with other partners. So the liquidity is already there, and it's with partners that they trust. And then the IBM blockchain component adds a level of trust for the audit trail. The trust exists in the existing network as well as the technology. That's why we have so many ongoing conversations. Again, pre-revenue, but several ongoing big corporate conversations with strategic companies to come on and use the system, as well as some service provider conversations, a potential partnership where these service providers would sell MonetaPro, much like they sell SAP or Oracle, and then we still have some software vendor conversations. So again, exciting opportunity, qualified management to execute. I've done several enterprise software companies, took my first company public at age 33, a lot of deep relationships into corporate enterprise, management team, including our COO who took his first company public through NASDAQ. Jay Sato helped roll out a lot of brands through Sony. Rick Prendergast built the sales team at American Express, technical, biz dev, some targeted corporate advisors as well coming out of food, consumer electronics, legal. And the current offer, some milestones already been hit, already raised a round of seed funding. It's gone to improve the technology platform, bring in some of the management team, get us to these corporate conversations, use the proceeds to move forward, expand Salesforce, onboarding team, system upgrades and improvements. That is MonetaPro. Thank you and look forward to hearing from you.